What's up, Uncommon? Jackie here. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the virtual barbell club class that we have coming up on this Thursday. So obviously this is going to be a little bit biased towards those who do have a barbell in their possession, but I did want to provide those of you who do want to practice working on your snatch technique, give you the opportunity to use maybe a broomstick or a mop at your house. For demonstration purposes today, I'm going to use a PVC pipe, but I got a couple drills for you. So just to work on mobility of the shoulders, we're going to start out with some PVC pipe pass-throughs. Okay, just bring the PVC pipe behind you, bring it back forward. You can choose the rep count. I'd say 10 is probably a good one. Back and forth equals 1 rep. The only thing that I don't want to see is that you're unnecessarily shrugging. I want you to keep those shoulders drawn down. So go as wide as you need to in order to not shrug up, but to keep the lats engaged while you do these, okay? Second option, or second movement rather, is going to be around the world. Stiff arms, that's the first key, okay? I see a lot of times when I coach this in class that people will just bend the elbows and just go like this. That is not what I'm looking for here. I want your elbows to be locked out and you go around to the right and then the left arm follows you back to bring the PVC pipe forward. Okay, you can do 5 reps on each side or however many you would like. Then for our work, for our drills today, we're going to work on muscle snatches and overhead squats, and then we're also going to work on our speed under the bar or speed under the PVC pipe or broomstick or mop through snatch balances. So today we're working on the snatch. So we got a nice wide grip on, I'm just gonna say PVC pipe for my example, and we're keeping the bar about belt height. So it's gonna be, below the hip bone, just above the pubic bone is a good point of reference for you, okay? Our muscle snatch is going to be where we dip, and then as we drive out and bend the elbows, we zip up our coat, but we don't re-bend the knees, okay? So a power snatch is where we re-bend, but I'm looking for a muscle snatch, where we lock the knee out and it doesn't lock out again. Okay, so we're gonna go for all 3 positions, starting with position 1, just a break in the knee. Notice how my torso and my hips are all stacked on top of one another, and I'm not loading my hips backwards, okay? So wide grip, position 1, you'll go for your muscle snatch. I like to think about the bar scraping up my entire body. Then you'll go back to your position 1, down to 2, okay? So notice how from position 1 to position 2, I shoved my hips back toward the wall behind me, and I have a nice vertical shin, okay? My knees are not over my ankles. They are stacked on top of one another, and I'm actively pulling this bar into my body, where if I were relaxed in my shoulders, the bar would kind of dangle out in front of me. We want to engage the lats and the rear delts and pull it into us. And from here, we'll just practice our muscle snatch again. We'll make sure that we pass through position 1 for our muscle snatch. Okay, last but not least, we go to 1. We shove the hips back down to 2. Then we'll simultaneously lower our hips and our shoulders to mid-shin for position 3. This would be probably a more advanced athlete. Okay, if you need to just work on position 1 for your 3 muscle snatches, have at it, that's where you're at, okay? So we lowered the hips and shoulders simultaneously, brought it to mid-shin. Now we pass through position 2, remember that vertical shin. We pass through position 1, and we drive the bar overhead. From here, you're going to practice your overhead squat mobility. You'll get a nice wide stance. You'll shove the hips back toward the wall behind you, and you'll sit down into your squat, okay? Notice how I'm drawing my shoulders down and I have engagement in my lats. It might be a little hard to see in a video, but I'm not dumping my shoulders forward. You see the difference between this position and this position? So we always talk about teaching tension over position, right? So this, from a position standpoint, is where I'm going to find the best tension in my lat, okay? Not here. We don't want to dip the shoulder forward, puts us at risk for injury. So if your range of motion is really short on the overhead squat and it just looks like this, cool, that's fine by me, okay? But to show you what it looks like again, hips back, get to the bottom of our squat, and stand back up. Okay, so you'll do your 3-position muscle snatch, or you can just do 3 reps at 1 position, whichever you choose, followed by 3 overhead squats. That's your first part A, okay? Part B is going to be a snatch balance. So this is going to benefit, the first thing benefited people who struggle with the technique of the snatch. This second movement option is going to teach people speed underneath the barbell. So, bar is going to start on our shoulders. We'll have our wide grip for our overhead squat. And all I want you to think about is a dip drive, and then as soon as you lock the hips and knees out, you're thinking about pushing your body down, not pushing the bar up, okay? So to show you in motion what that looks like. Okay, notice how I am locking out my elbows aggressively and almost like falling in a way, right? I'm pulling my body down and locking my elbow out as opposed to pushing up and falling down, okay? That's your snatch balance, okay? That's gonna really challenge people who need to work on speed under the bar because, or it's at least a good drill because it allows the bar to move in a straight line, okay? Little room for error when you're in this position as opposed to pulling it from the floor and trying to do that yourself, okay? Enjoy.